What's up, everybody? It's your boy Smooth Gamer, and we are coming at you today talking about the Xbox and a review on Xbox Series X and S. I have owned these systems since they had their launch. I believe it was in 2022, and here we are in 2024, and I've had quite a journey with that system there. And also I've went through quite a few controllers in that time frame. And of course, gameplay and like the way they set up the UI for you to navigate through Xbox is pretty simple. And if you can check them out here, we are going to check out in the library. I have quite a few games that are easily accessible due to their newest update. I don't have like every game on the planet, but as you can see, I have an extensive library from old backwards compatible to mid old last in the Xbox 360, Xbox One era games, and then some of the newer XS stamped games, which are, I want to say, improved for the Xbox Series X and S. So I have different versions, like let's say if Call of Duty, I also have the XS version of those too. So game selection has been mid-tier. So we're going to get into all of that. We're going to cover the video game edge. We're going to cover, the console itself. And we are going to cover the Series S, which is next to that one. And also, we're going to go over the controllers and batteries, life in general, for the game system itself. So, thinking about it like this. 2 years later, am I really happy with Xbox and what they have done with their system? I'm going to have to say it's kind of a middle ground for me, because when I first got my Xbox Series X, I had more of a hopes that it was going to be the next gen gaming. However, when it was presented to me, it seemed as though I had bought a dud, because I found myself ending up playing a lot of games that I was already playing on PC. I mean, not on PC, but on PlayStation 4, and some games that I played on PlayStation 3, such as Grand Theft Auto and things of that nature. Apex, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't really playing any games where I was like, oh my God, this is the future and this is new gaming. I don't really feel like Xbox had an impact as such when PlayStation 4 and Xbox One had launched, because before those systems we had the PlayStation 3 and we had the Xbox 360. So with that being said, those native jumps were astounding and night and day difference. However, when we step into the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, they had a little bit more crispier graphics. However, I still had a lot of issues when it comes to playing those same games I was playing. I was still getting dropped. I was still getting blue screened or black screened or sent back to lobbies because of connection issues and all that stuff. So with that being said, performance wise, I think that, it's pretty mid. I'm not here to slam Xbox. I actually enjoy Xbox thoroughly, so much that I bought the Xbox Series Elite 2 controller, which is this one here. Put a little skin on it. But long story short, this controller actually fell apart over time and was deemed unplayable. I also ended up with stick drift. As a matter of fact, you can see right here, this analog isn't even properly aligned like this one is. And this is a $200 controller right here. So, in the future of gaming tech, you would think that if you pay $200 for a controller, that controller would last. I didn't even have this controller for a year when I did buy it. And within that year, this controller became unreliable. And it was crazy to spend a price like that on a controller. And then we have our generic controller, which this was a limited time controller. And I thought it would be pretty cool to get a controller like that. But this controller is collecting dust because third-party controllers also have drift issues and unresponsive times when you are in certain games. Like if you play like Call of Duty and things of that nature, it would be better to have a first-party controller over a third-party controller, and you'll have more accuracy with that. However, I do like the fact that the Elite Core controllers do have the back paddles, and that's a great feature in games that I found works great. And, I think they've done pretty good as far as, some of their controller ideals, but then again, with me having a controller as this one that was super expensive and it ended up breaking down on me, that made me kind of fearful of wanting to even purchase or buy expensive controllers through Xbox. So within the 2 years time, I've had such a miss or hit with this system. And there is a big difference when you are playing on the Series X versus the S. There was plenty of times where I would be playing multiplayer games and I'm on the X and I have a player playing on the S and their game dropped, or I would load up and have shorter load times. And there's a general performance jump that's on the X versus the S. So would I consider getting or recommending anybody getting the Xbox Series S? I would say, yeah, if you don't have a next-gen gaming console, I would definitely recommend it. And I'm not here to bash Xbox for the works that they've done. However, I'm not going to sit there and say that I'm completely happy with the work that Xbox has done. Now, when it comes to running certain games, for instance, battle royale games, if you're into that, because there's a lot of people who are into battle royale games and some people who aren't. I just so happen to be one of those guys. I'm into it. So I've played Apex Legends on PS4 and Xbox Series X. I made a jump from PlayStation 4 and went straight back into Xbox. I used to own an Xbox 360. I never had an Xbox One, things of that nature. I just saw a little. I just seen a little, like, we came into stick drift on here. Like that's all I saw. You feel me? But graphical wise, and if you got the TV to support it, which I do have the TV to support 4K gaming and things of that nature, I'm going to sit here and say that this is a dub right here. If you want to play games that you already have and owned and you want to play those things on a higher resolution, I would definitely suggest getting an Xbox Series X just so you can have the most powerful system next to the PlayStation 5, before they dropped the PS5 Pro or the Xbox X2, all that tech stuff. Just keeping it simple and staying in the realm of the Xbox Series X and its performance. I'm going to say it's a win more than it is a loss, and that's why I invested money into the game system, because I obviously like it, and I liked it enough that I could put a couple of dollars into it. But I'm not going to sit here and say that it was the happiest amount of dollars that I put into this game system, especially with it being a new gen system and it not bringing the new gen. That's the problem for me. Just like a game like Apex, I was playing this on PlayStation 4, and yet here I am 2 years later with the Xbox Series X playing Apex. I got friends that I know that have Xboxes, and they are playing Grand Theft Auto 5 still. That was on PlayStation 3. So it seems like we kind of skipped out on the next gen when it comes to that. And we have had some new games and things of that nature. But, people are going to be mad at me on this video when it comes to me being the jump master and I am not playing. But just, graphic wise, as you can see, everything loaded up, everything is responsive, everything works great. And 2 years later, I'm going to sit here and say that I'm more okay than I was within the first year of launch, because there wasn't a lot going on for this console. So with future updates and newer games coming through, what is your thoughts on the Xbox Series X? What is your thoughts on the future of this game system? Do you think that Xbox Series has another, 2 to 4 years? And will we have better games? That's the question. Because I don't know. As far as I've seen, I haven't really seen too many great standout games that were produced by Xbox exclusive, unless you're into those games like Starfield and a couple of other titles. But I'm not really even interested in playing games like those. So there's like a hit or miss on the Xbox exclusives claim for me. Now, when it comes to PlayStation, I don't own a PlayStation 5, but I have been a Sony fan for years and years. So when it comes down to it, I think that PlayStation is doing just as bad, when it comes to that next gen definement and letting everyone see what they're capable of. We're still playing last gen games on a quote unquote new gen system. And this is going to last until the next gen system comes out, and then they're going to put that same claim on it and say, hey, this is a next gen system, and yet we're going to be playing old games on it still. So I don't know, I'm a little concerned about the future of Xbox, unless they pull some crazy games out of nowhere and they fix their game cloud and their streaming services, because they still have issues within that realm also. We also have little charger battery packs and things of that nature. But I'm not going to lie to you, man. I feel like after owning this game system for about 2-something years now, I'm just seeing like just a collection of dust on this right here, just to be honest with you. So in the full 2 years that I've owned this Xbox, I can't say that I've been a dedicated player on it. Like, I've played it, and there are days and weeks that I have played on this Xbox relentlessly, signing in every day. But then there were times where I was going a couple months without even playing it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was playing mobile games at some point in time on my phone that were better than the games that's available through their services. And I don't mean to be the one to sound like a complainer on it, but I just want to be honest with the people so that they know what they're getting into. When it comes to Game Pass, even, I have Game Pass Ultimate. And okay, so this is going to be a big one right here. Diablo 4 coming to Game Pass, at least for me. And even then, I played Diablo Immortal on mobile, and that was pretty good. So I've heard that in reviews that Diablo Immortal was better than Diablo 4. So, with that being said, Dead Island 2, I played that game. That was pretty decent. I actually own Power World, and I was on the Power World Steam train when that was going on. Starfield, I could play this game for free, and I haven't even tried this game. I don't know if I will. I mean, I'm not really into outer space type games and stuff like that, even if they are good. Don't come for me because I have my own game preference. Some people like to play different stuff, and when it comes to the rewards you can earn on here, they watered down and diluted this. You could get a lot of points at one point in time and farm up a bunch of coupons for when you make purchases in the store. But as far as game wise, though, I mean, it's pretty limited when it comes to what you're gonna be playing. Like, a lot of the games that I have on here are older games. Apex, old. Fortnite, I play that every once in a while. That's old. Fatal Bullet, old. Skyrim, old. Destiny 1, old. Fallout 4, old. You feel me? I have more old games than I have new games, and that should tell you something. And some of those games aren't even optimized with the XS stamp on them. So, I mean, when it comes down to the XS stamp being optimized for the games, I don't really believe in that stamp right there, because think about it like this. They have 2D games that have this XS stamp on them. So if there's a 2D game optimized for the X and S, then that means that look right here, as a matter of fact, Brotato optimized for XS, and the graphics are just graphics. They're not cool graphics. They're not awesome. They're literally 2D side-scrolling graphics, and it has the XS stamp on it, which means that it's optimized to run, and it's graphically computing, and you can get all the frames per second at a potential blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, I don't really have faith in the XS stamp, because I've bought games that don't even have that stamp that look just as great. So you wouldn't even notice if you were playing a game that was enhanced for the XS or not, man. There's some great games out here. And if we left it to be determined for us to only play games that have the XS stamp on them, like this game right here, we're not going to play it. So yeah. I mean, with this in conclusion, I feel like I've said more negative things about Xbox Series X, than I did positively. However, at the end of this is my sum up right here. I'm going to just tell you like this. I feel like Xbox definitely let a gamer like me down as far as looking into the next gen, because the graphical jump from, having PS4 to the Xbox Series X, it's a great graphical jump. However, it's not as great as the jump from PlayStation 3 to the PlayStation 4. The PlayStation 3 to 4 jump had a bigger graphical update, and with the new generational way of gaming, I think that had a bigger jump also. So with my expectation of seeing how great that jump was versus here we are now and today with the Xbox collecting dust. I'm gonna say I'm leaning more towards I'm just okay with purchasing an Xbox. However, if you want one and you want to get an Xbox, I definitely say go for it. It still has a great selectional library for a type of gamer. However, I don't really feel like it's suitable for everybody, especially with Game Pass. There's a lot of limited games on there, and it does come and go and change up every once in a while. So you might come across Game Pass in a couple of months where you find a great banger title, or you're just not going to have anything to play and you're just going to be paying for Game Pass. So with that being said, you can definitely get by with playing on a regular controller. You don't have to buy these expensive controllers. I did because this definitely, like I said, having these extra buttons on the back does take your gaming to a more better level when it comes to that. And just having a new generational console is always key in the gaming community. So to be able to stay relevant and be able to do all those cool things, you can see the graphics on here pretty good. The pixels and everything is pixeling in a way that it should. So I think overall they got it, but then when it comes to their video games, I feel like that's kind of where they missed out at, and they didn't truly optimize the Xbox Series X in the way that it truly was marketed. So I still say, hey, go ahead and get it. But when it comes to should you get the Xbox over the PS5, I'm gonna sit here tell you right there, I'm not sure about that because I don't own a PS5. I can only speak to you about the Xbox. I've had it for 2 years, and I don't even consistently play it like that anymore as much as I used to, but it's still my primary game console next to my Legion Go. So if you're going to be interested in more videos like these, or if you have any questions or comments or any future thoughts about the gaming realm with Xbox, PlayStation, go ahead and slide into them comments and, ask those questions, and, we'll talk about it, because honestly, with the state of play right now, it's really questionable, especially with them throwing in it having the title of, next gen. I don't really feel like this is next gen. I just think that this is just a graphical upgrade onto the same games that we've already been playing. And you can't sit there and say, oh, we got exclusives. We got exclusives like Grounded. Everybody didn't play Grounded. Everybody's not into those types of games. So, we could go back and forth on that all day. But I'm just telling you, is it a hit or a miss? And what do I give the Xbox Series X 1 out of 10? I'm going to have to give it a hard 7. You feel me? And so it's winning more than it's losing, but it's not 10 out of 10. It's not great like that. You feel me? This is just a console. A console that costs a lot of money. You feel me? Thank you for tuning in. I'm Smooth Gamer, and you guys have a great rest of your day.